Welcome to the second episode of Revival Survival, the new podcast that covers franchise revivals, reboots, and remakes. I'm Nathan Grayjack.
And I'm Eric Zajac.
And today we're going to cover a classic show called X-Files. X-Files began in 1993 and had an original run of 9 seasons, including a movie and a spin-off series. A few years after it ended, there was another movie that came out. A couple years ago, a television revival premiered on network TV. Now, the 11th season is on with the same characters and the same mythology, still moving forward.
Very interesting. You're deep state.
What are some of the differences and similarities of this revival compared to the original run?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna start right now. I enjoy it. I enjoy X-Files immensely. I enjoy it partly because it does take itself seriously most of the time, but there are episodes in there that are just weird and they make you laugh, or they're like, what just happened, and I feel like it's staying true to that form. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, I think one bonus for the X-Files revival is that it's on the same network. It's on Fox. It has a lot of the same branding. It has the same creator and showrunner, Chris Carter.
Yep.
So a lot of it feels original. It has the same cast. Mm-hmm. The main characters, secondary characters, not only Mulder Scully and then Skinner, but we've had Spender come back, Reyes.
Yep.
Cigarette Smoking Man, of course.
Smoking Man, of course.
No Agent T-1000, or Agent Doggett, whatever his name is.
No.
He hasn't come back at all in season 10 or 11, but a lot of the supporting characters have, so it really feels like a good continuation.
Yeah, and I have to be honest, I didn't start watching the 10th or the 11th season when they came out, so I had to play catch-up, and I feel like I have a lot of questions. So
don't we all?
Yeah.
One thing I think that always seems to happen with X-Files is that most of the time when you're watching an episode, you're just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You have no idea what's happening through most of the episode. Yep. But somehow it works.
Yeah.
So you'll be watching it and be like, I don't know, is this a good guy or is this a bad guy? Is this a monster or is this a person?
Right.
Is this an alien? And the whole time you have no idea what's going on.
Right.
Even sometimes the episode ends and you're still like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I know. Every time. I feel like it doesn't matter what it is. The
new runs, both season 10 and 11, are keeping with the same sort of episode dichotomy of some mythology episodes and some Monster of the Week episodes. Anyone who's into X-Files knows that there's definitely that back and forth aspect of it. The heart of the show definitely started with the Monster of the Week. Every week there's a different thing they had to tackle, and then the mythology kind of started growing more and more important as the show went on, to where it is now, where it's very deep and convoluted and bloated at this point. It's hard to even understand what's going on. Especially because we're looking at 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
So you see back in X-Files Fight for the Future, the first movie, they're saying the year 2000, things will happen. Then they're saying 2012, things are going to happen.
Right.
And then it's pushed back. And then you can throw season 10 pretty much out the window because they said all this stuff's happening. And then they say, oh, no, it didn't happen as a vision.
Right.
Maybe, or something.
But as the season is progressing, it's coming true. They're saying, oh, it is going to happen. Apparently, according to the last episode, I just watched episode 6, I think it was.
Right, but they keep saying that.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. But my assumption is that the 10th season was saying, oh, it's going to happen. Now the 6th season, or the 11th season is going to say, it's going to happen. Like, we're going to see it. I don't know if that's true, but that's just how it seems.
Yeah, so I should have said this before again, but let's say it now before we say anything else. This is a spoiler zone.
Spoilers. Up
to episode, is it 5 or 6? Ghoulie is the last one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So anything up to there is totally free game. We're going to be saying spoilers in and out. So be aware of that. So just like season 10 said, and just like pretty much every time it's ever ended, it's been, this might be the last time. They
might not renew our contract this time.
Right, they might not renew anything. Gillian Anderson said it's her last time.
Right.
I think she said that before, though.
Oh, yeah.
So who knows? They said it was going to be done after, I think, season 7, when David Duchovny couldn't come back on as Fox Mulder. And then season 9 thought it was going to be done. Then there's a movie, and then season 10. Yep. Now season 11. It was 2 years. There's a 2-year gap between those two seasons. These, what do they call them? Event seasons is the word they use. Mm-hmm. So you never really know what's going to happen. I feel like Chris Carter and the creators constantly have to hedge their bets. I want to make a good series that's going to leave an opening for more, but also this could be the last time, so I have to also close the window a little bit. I have to keep it open and closed at the same time. And that's led to a lot of, just like I said, they keep saying that this is going to happen and then things don't happen.
Right.
The big invasion, the big colonization, that's so deep into it.
Which I feel in that regard, they do well. Yes, the X-Files is a weird show, but it always seems to deliver. I've never sat there and said, this season's really stupid. There's always something about it that I like, and
yeah. And a lot of people said about season 10 that it was just stupid. It failed. I thought there was a lot of good things in season 10. It's too bad that now I have to question if any of it was real, which is too bad.
Yeah.
But I thought it had some good stuff. A lot of people like the Were Monster episode.
Yeah.
But I like the mythology episodes as well. My struggle parts 1 and 2.
Yep.
But it's kind of funny that now season 11 starts with my struggle part 3, even though it's takes place before.
That's why I was so confused. Yeah. That's a lot of my questions, but I mean I know it's the X-Files and I can't really say that, but
right.
That was like, what's going on?
Yeah, midway through watching the original run, I had to come to peace with the fact that sometimes you just don't know what's going on, and that's okay. Sometimes it's going to be campy, and that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to come to terms with it. Does the science going to make sense? Does the mythology make sense? No.
I will say
it's okay.
I will say it did do an excellent job of playing at our fears, especially in the current political climate we're in. The whole deep state, conspiracy against this and that, and it's not actually aliens, and it was like, oh my god.
Well, the not actually aliens thing, that was the question through the first half of the original run was, is it a government conspiracy making it look like aliens?
Right.
Or is it aliens make it look like government conspiracy?
Right.
And it wasn't until the Fight the Future movie, I think, when there was that reveal scene where the guy from the Syndicate said, no, it is aliens, and it's government conspiracy. Right, yeah. So it took so long for that to kind of resolve, and then for some reason in this last episode, you have Skinner restating that, it's been an alien thing this whole time, and it's like, we knew that already, Skinner.
Right.
Where were you?
Yeah.
For the last 12 years.
He sits in his office and does nothing, so
yeah, I don't
colludes.
Yeah, and Skinner's a whole, we'll unravel him, I think.
Yeah.
He's a whole other thing. Moving forward with some differences and some opinions. You said you like this season so far?
So far, I believe I am. And I'm not sure if it's because finally we're getting to see where William is, what he's doing. What is his name now? Jason Vandekamp. Because my God, we've been talking about this for how long, and finally we're like, oh, here he is, and by the way, he's a creepy dude, or it seems like so anyway, projecting things into people's heads and such.
Yeah, he kind of has the same power as Stranger Things season 2 colleague.
Yeah.
Number 8, whatever she was.
Yeah.
She had the same power projecting the image in someone's head
right.
and then making them act on it. But that was interesting. But yeah, so you have William coming in. Ghoulie was an interesting episode. It started off, you think it's going to be a Monster of the Week episode.
Right. Yeah.
There's this thing, there's this Ghoulie, kind of like Slender Man type mythology. You think, it's going to be this episode about kids stabbing each other, ripped from the headlines.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, it's William. And all of a sudden, now it's in the mythology. Now it's an arc episode. So
and I was sitting there, and it took me a good 10 minutes to realize what was happening, because I saw the Ghoulie appear and the girls killed themselves trying to fight Ghoulie, thinking they were both Ghoulie or each other. And I was like waiting, and finally got to the hospital where they're running around. I'm like, wait a minute, is that her? She keeps saying William. Is that William? Her son? I'm like, okay, what's going on? Then I got really interested in it. I'm like watching it with a little more enthusiasm now.
Yeah, it took a little bit to get going.
Yeah.
So I also thought it was interesting. So they kind of had this feeling that it was William. And then she thought, I'll do the DNA test. So you see her swapping her mouth and getting ready before she does her big confessional to him.
Right.
But I don't know if they actually did the test. Mulder said he did.
He said they did, yeah.
But you didn't really see it. And also, why didn't Mulder do his own test? Because now we have this information out there that William isn't Mulder's.
Right.
It's cigarette smoking man's kid all along.
Right.
Through one means or another. So it's like, was he just lying? Is that true? Why didn't Mulder do the test so we know?
And again, it's one of those questions where you're not sure if you can answer it just because it's the X-Files. I mean, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Maybe it's a trick. I don't know. But that's right. That's the point that I started thinking. Well, why is she so interested in this one kid that she's doing a DNA test? Like I don't think they actually explained that when they started doing it. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, they're trying to figure out if it's her son or not. And then I was interested. I was just like,
I mean, they hinted at it.
But it just is, again, in true X-Files fashion, they jumped a bit, and it took me a minute to catch up. But yeah, it was interesting. Definitely interesting. Very good episode. And I have a question for you. The last season was 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Right. It's at the 10th season. Is the 11th season 12 or 6?
I think it's 10, maybe?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
It says 12.
That sounds right, because I saw something about there's one more episode tonight.
Yeah.
And then they're going to take a hiatus because of the Olympics.
Oh.
So that sounds right.
Yeah, okay.
And come back for a few more.
Which, can we get on the subject of midterm season breaks? The mid-season breaks, though.
Okay.
I hate that.
Okay.
Next.
No, I know. It was frustrating with Discovery.
Every show. Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's the thing now.
I mean, everything.
Mid-season hiatus.
Yeah, hiatus, yeah. I understand why they do it, and to some extent it's good. Like, if you watch Family Guy, if you're a good Family Guy fan, they do one episode every, like, 2 or 3 weeks. Because of it's Fox, so there's always a football game or there's always something going on. So it literally takes a year to watch every single episode of one season of Family Guy.
No, I didn't know that.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, I don't even watch X-Files on Fox. You know, it's nice that it's on network television, like it should, you know, like it always was. Like, but here I am going, that's great, but then still watching it online because I don't have TV anymore. I only watch things on the internet.
It's easier.
Yeah, it's on Fox.com. It's on Hulu, so it's really available.
Exactly. There's no reason. Speaking of some of that stuff, and especially William, because he was a subject of experimentation, or supposedly, something.
Yeah. And human alien DNA hybrid experiment. It keeps evolving.
By his adopted father, correct? Van de Kamp? Wasn't he in the episode they were explaining that he was a doctor that experimented on the children? I was like, that seems like a really bad foster parent or adopted parents, you know.
I didn't catch that.
You didn't. I see. I was getting snippets, and I was like, "Am I correct? And would I just hear that right?" You know, because man, I thought that was weird. That's why they were killed. Something with whomever was mad at him, or I can't remember. We'd have to look at it again. But the gunman came in and shot the parents, and then William hit or something. I can't remember.
Well, Mulder and Scully broke in the door, so he ran out the back door.
Oh, that's right. And they ran out or something, but he made him look like he was...
He made it look like he was dead to Mulder and Scully.
Right, like he had a head bullet wound to the head. And okay.
I guess I think that is more than they were killing the parents just to cover up all traces of them. So they want to be
maybe
sense.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, but that's why they killed him, right? Because he was not because he was doing the experiments, because they were covering it up.
Yeah,
they didn't want people to find it, right, or something, whatever. Because were they supposed to kill William, and they just didn't have time?
Yeah, that was my take.
It's just the whole family. Yeah,
I mean the whole episode they're trying to kill him. They're chasing him.
Right.
They leave to the hospital trying to kill him. Yeah, I think their job was to kind of clean up any of these experimental kids.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought too. So I guess that brings me to my point in a very long way.
I don't think the Van de Kamps were in it anyway.
No?
I think they were just collateral damage.
Maybe I just misheard it, but I swear he said Van de Kamp was a doctor and that's what he was doing. But again, I don't know. Okay, so that brings me to my next question. Does this seem like more of a deep state season of X-Files than ever before? Or, I mean, eugenics one, and talking about the perfect society based on the Smoking Man, private Russian contractors funded by the DOD. That was a little scary, I thought. Again, playing at our fears of a government conspiracy. Not that it's an alien conspiracy, which, you know, everybody's like, oh, okay, it's scary. But then a government conspiracy that makes it look like alien conspiracy. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's always been, you know, to use the term deep state, I feel like that's always been the case. I mean, from day one, you know, you had Mulder getting informants from inside. He was close with Congress people and elected officials and people at the State Department. I feel like that's always been a big part of it. Obviously, the Syndicate started off as a government agency and became kind of independent as they went along through their history. They started off governmental in the 60s and then kind of became more independent by the time the show started. I think that's always been a part of it. Okay. I think the term deep state's big now because of Trump and Trumpism, and that's kind of being used, but I think that's always kind of been happening. Yeah.
I mean, it was that, and it was the added Joel McHale's character. I can't remember his name, McCready or Mick something. And it was like poking really hard at Glenn Beck, and, you know, so just, again, I don't think we've ever seen characters like that, but they're doing it because there's such an outcry against Trump and all that stuff.
Well, yeah. That season was pre-Trump. That was more of the
But it was it was the Tea Party. It was the deep state. But now we're hitting really hard on. Is the Department of Defense with us? Are they not? I don't know what. I mean, obviously they've always had that problem. It's always been no.
From episode 1 of this season, it's been real hard on old people who don't trust the FBI, which is a take on what's happening with the Mueller investigation, and you know the Defense Department is this and that. I mean, right away they had Cigarette Smoking Man implying that he was behind Trump being elected, and he used the term fake news really obviously. I remember being kind of like, well, that's, you know, it's pretty obvious, but it's not hitting over the head with it. And then they have the Lost Out of Forehead Sweat episode where it's like, okay, now it's obvious. Like, it's Trump bashing time, you know. I really kind of wanted to, maybe I still could, make like a supercut of every Trump reference in an episode, but I feel like it would just take so long.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would. I couldn't find any good comprehensive lists online of every reference. People kept missing things. Like, some people didn't recognize the bing bing bong bong as a reference. Yeah. Some people weren't getting the scene when those fools were making fun of Fox freaking Mulder after he had before his breakdown, they were like, "Oh, first you're a rebel, then you're deep state, sad." I mean, that was that's Trump's how he tweets.
Exactly.
So, like, there was so many in there. And then the whole thing with Dr. They, being, doesn't matter. You can just say the truth now because no one believes it. Yeah, it's all the fall of truth and the rise of Trumpism. Yeah. Like, it was just one hit after another in that episode of Trump jokes and this post-conspiracy world.
Which my question is, does it make Mulder's idea of a weird alternate reality or whatever, because they always think, I believe, but now he's not the weird one. Now he is the sane one, and everyone else around him is the weird one. Like, we all believe in all this stuff that's not factually correct, or it seems it's on the rise at least. Mm-hmm. And so now is it like, okay, Mulder was here, now he's here, and it's completely reversed. I feel. I don't know.
I'm not finished yet.
So like I said, we had Skinner come back. I always liked him as a character, and what I liked the most about him is that you never really knew if you could trust him. Yeah. So what's your take on Skinner? Is he a good guy, bad guy, somewhere between, just trying to do the best he can? What do you think?
I feel like he is a good guy. I feel like he's playing the Smoking Man because he always seems to guide Scully and Mulder, or he always seems to be at the right spot to save them. Again, that could be playing into that as he's just playing them, but...
Double agent, triple agent.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how many times he's a double agent now, but... I want him to be nice. I want him to be a good guy. It seems like he was throughout the entire series, except for now.
Kind of. When he first met him, he was with CSM. He was right there.
Right.
He met with Secret Smoking Man, CSM, a few different times. For a while there, he was compromised by Krychek. He had that little implantation in him that he could... stop his heart or something?
Yeah,
that little remote control. So you never really... he always had a twinge of you just didn't know if he was telling the truth. You couldn't quite trust him. Because Mulder and Scully, they just trust each other 100%. They're the only two people that can rely on each other in this universe. Each one of them has the other one, and that's it.
Right. And
then there's also Skinner, who is orbiting around, just almost trustworthy, almost not.
Right. Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Is.
He's that middle ground, because you have this Smoking Man who's this, I think, just perfect villain for Mulder and Scully.
Yeah.
To be able to match them with wits and with conspiratories and with power,
Yeah.
It's a great character. To have Skinner kind of be that middle person.
Yeah.
You think he's so far removed. Smoking Man's so far removed from Mulder, but he's one step away because there's Skinner right in between.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, it always seems like no matter what happens, Smoking Man can flex his muscle and make anyone turn, even the people that you think are... Skinner's never going to do that.
Yeah, or Reyes.
Very loyal. Yeah, Reyes, exactly. Yeah. Very interesting. Speaking of the lost art of forehead sweat, I have to talk about it. What did you think of that episode? Did you love it or no?
I did a lot. It was funny.
You did? Okay.
Like I said, with X-Files, you have to take that level of camp into consideration.
Yes.
And they're known for having a wacky episode or two in the middle of the season, especially as it went on. You can go, there's so many. There's a Black and White episode, the one where... there was that monster with two faces. Mm-hmm. There was the Ex-Cops episode, which I thought was really good too. It was a cops episode. Yeah. It's unsteady cam, shaky cam. So it's part of its DNA.
Right.
So I was totally okay with it. And as always, it ended you with more questions than you had. So at the end, you're like, oh, he's just off his rocker, and everything he said was false. Except Skinner comes out and says, "Was that Reggie?" And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, great. Now I have no idea what's real and what's not real. And a few episodes before that, remember when Skinner was like, oh, all the experts are digitized now. He was going through them.
Yeah.
Guess whose photo showed up in there?
Was it his?
A scan of Reggie's ID.
Oh, my God.
His FBI ID was in there. So he's in the X-Files.
Yeah.
He has some legitimacy. So it's like, how much of it is true? Scully should have smacked down and said, no, all of this isn't true, but maybe it was.
Right.
You don't know. And that's X-Files. You never know.
Yeah. That's the thing. A good episode. I questioned everything, especially when they started talking about I can't remember. It was a Mangala syndrome or the Mangala effect.
Mandela is the real
Mandela effect. Yeah. Because when they started saying that, and then they started adding in oh no, I remember it this way. I was like, wait a minute, did that really happen that way? Mm-hmm. And it had me questioning everything about what I remember from the X-Files.
Right, because Mandela effect's a real thing.
Yeah, of course.
So everyone has those little things, but yeah.
I just wait a
minute,
are they really tricking me?
Exactly. And that flashback where he turned himself in the episode was so classic. Such a good sequence.
Yep.
I just really loved It had a good tone. It really stayed true to the old ones, and it added it's a funny, humorous layer to it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I'd have to go back and watch it again, but I think I liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. What was the trash one? Was it the 10th season, I think?
Home Again? About the homeless people?
Yeah. What was your take on that? Because I had no idea.
It sounds like you just watched 10 and 11 together. I watched 10 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So
I had to watch 10 because you
didn't watch it yet. I watched them all, but it was 2 years ago. So you tell me your take on it.
But I liked it. It was the classic monster story, of course. But again, I felt like it was a kind of a social, not really social justice, but obviously it was because they were helping homeless people. But I was like, okay, there's got to be something behind this. Maybe he's like a real person and he's just walking around. But then it turns out that it's an artist drawing him and manifesting it as a monster and killing all the people that are against him. I was like,
right. Yeah, I remember that now. Okay. Again, season 10, I liked most of it.
Okay. It was good though.
Yeah, it was good.
And,
the episode obviously didn't stick out to me very, very well.
Okay. But
now that you say I remember the drawing, I remember coming to life. To me, that's just a classic. That's a classic Monster of the Week X-Files episode.
But see, those are the ones that stick out the most to me, I feel. Because they're scary. And if you don't watch it, you'll miss something. So I have to watch it, but I have to be scared too, So to me, it just stands out.
Lone gunman?
So another thing I liked about this revival season, this event season, is... Mulder and Scully, they're getting older. It's been 25 years since the show started, but they're still so badass.
Yeah.
And they still play up each other so well. That I can't remember the name of it, but the one with Langley and the digital afterlife.
Oh, yeah.
When they got that warning and they hear a sound outside, and they just jump into action. And they know exactly what to do. They grab their guns. They're getting ready, and wow, man, they're still really cool. They're just cool characters. And they had a great relationship, great chemistry. It's fun to watch them play off each other. It's fun to watch them just be really good at what they do.
It feels very nostalgic. I mean, watching the first episode of the first season and then watching, the 11th season, it brings you back, basically. I don't think there's any difference in any of the episodes. They always have that same chemistry, no matter what they look like. And then there were flashbacks also in one of the episodes. Oh, there was the Foreheads, Lost Art of Foreheads, where they were doing all the flashbacks, and I thought I had to take double takes sometimes. Like, oh yeah, that's back in 1993 or 1994 or whatever, because you couldn't really tell all the way because he looked the same, but they didn't. Yeah. So it was
funny. It's kind of reminded me of Forrest Gump.
Yeah, exactly.
The archival footage. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Their chemistry is always on point, or I feel.
I also noticed in this, and maybe it was in the old series, I don't think it was as much. In this new one, now that it's just the modern era of, being able to skip commercials, there's more product placement, and I was noticing product placement in season 11, especially with cars.
The cars, yes.
How many scenes was there of Mulder driving in the first episode, and then later, another different episode, they intentionally showed him sitting at the Wi-Fi hotspot, and it was why would you show that if not for a commercial? It really took me out of it. Really took me out of it. I was upset about that. That was so obvious.
That, and I don't remember what car it was, obviously, but when she was pulling in the alley, and she pushed a button on the dashboard, and it showed a full 180 camera, so she could see past the walls of the alley.
Yeah. And
then she pulled forward, and someone ran into the car. I was like, why would you show her checking the cameras? What do we care?
Yeah. It's egregious.
Oh, no.
And that's the world we live in. Yeah, and that's part of what we're discussing here is the changing climate, changing times, culture, media landscape, is that there's just more product placement nowadays than there used to be. And it's a
problem that I find with it is it doesn't faze me to want to buy those products.
I don't even know what car they were driving.
That's what I mean. I
so good luck selling me the cars. Right. I don't even know.
The only thing I remember is the cheesiness of putting it in there.
Yeah.
So
I'm also not Target demo because I never buy new cars and I have no.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm not who they're targeting.
Yeah, I know. But I feel sorry for the person that's like, man, I like that car. And I want to go buy it right now. I don't think I'd ever do that.
No, I would never do that.
Oh man, I really could go for a Coca-Cola right now.
Oh wow, the sound of a can opening. No, I want one.
I mean, that might work. Some people don't show me a coffee commercial because I'll want one. So I don't know. I feel like maybe drinks, maybe food would work, but 50 or 60 grand car probably wouldn't work for me. I mean, you might as well be selling me a Cessna 172.
That's target demo. So
right, of course. What the target demos? FBI agents or
affluent people who buy new cars regularly.
Okay.
I mean, some people buy a new car every 3-4 years.
That's true. Yeah,
people that do that.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
Of course, I know.
So that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm poor.
So is 99% of America. Okay, no.
But the 1% buys a lot of cars.
That's true. You're correct.
And then I buy them from them when they're 10 years old. Thank you.
Yeah, so call up your congressman and ask him to buy that new car.
I'm armed.
Let's talk for a minute about X-Files' problem with sexism and the ongoing objectification of Agent Scully.
Okay.
It's 2018, and they're still calling her sugar boobs and sweet little redheaded whatever. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, Mulder gets sexualized once in a while. Okay,
Barely,
maybe.
yeah.
But, like, it's all the time for her. Remember in season 10 where they had to do that stupid, like, scene with that were-monster where she was all coming on to him and this, like, fantasy scene? Give me a break. Yeah. Like, let's move past Scully being this, like, sexual object.
Right.
She's a brilliant scientist, a brilliant agent, very distinguished in both those fields of medicine and law enforcement and federal law enforcement, and you still have to, like, give me a break. I'm so tired of it. X-Files has such a history of doing this.
Yeah.
Like a lot of shows from the 90s that did.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
90s, yeah.
Like, we're past it now.
Yeah.
You know, and I read that the comment from Reggie something was that Sugar Boob's comment was when he said, this is a no women space, a men only space.
That's right,
said.
Yep.
That was actually a reference to the fact that in the early X-Files, the writer's room was all men, and and Gillian Anderson complained about that. Okay, so the men only space is a nice joke, but you need to call her Sugar Boobs. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break. So it's frustrating. I'm tired of it. I've been tired of it for a while. I've been over it for a while on a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And I hate seeing it in shows that I like.
I can see what you're saying. For me, the point when she was at the Weremonster, or with the Weremonster, and she was using her feminine wiles to basically trick him, that I can understand. But they didn't show us when she actually took him down, which I don't like. Like, if you show us the sexist part, and then don't show us her actually kicking his ass, if I can say ass, that's what I have a problem with. If there's no gratification to what she's doing, or I guess you don't see the path to that, there's no reason to do it. Because literally just walked in and said, oh, you took him down, great. You know, thanks.
As frustrating as that was, though, it was played off as a joke. Like, I don't like it, but okay. But the constant, let's make this guy seem really bad by making him say sexist things about her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's a sweet little, like...
Yeah.
Can we find other ways to make this guy seem bad than objectifying Agent Scully? Can we just find other ways to make him seem bad? I think it was the twin episode when that guy, he kept calling her, he kept saying things.
Yeah.
The male twin, I can't remember his name. Yeah. It was frustrating.
I mean, it is, and it's every show. And like we discussed last time with Star Trek, I feel like they did a better job of that. Like, they're actually trying not to sexualize them, but then I feel like they're sexualizing the men. So, it's strange. It's either or. I guess it's it's never one or it's never none. It's they do it just as a plot point, I feel.
Yeah. Okay, tune in next week as two men talk about feminism.
Yeah.
Don't try and threaten me, Mulder. I've watched presidents die.
So when I found out that Cigarette Smoking Man he claimed to be the father of William, the first thing I actually thought of was, like, a Maury Povich, Mulder, you are not the father. I had to, like, stifle a laugh to myself when I heard that. I thought of that.
Was he relieved, do you think, or?
Well, Mulder, I don't think he told Mulder.
No.
Scully didn't even tell him.
I don't think
so. He doesn't even know yet. It's frustrating because in season 10, which apparently takes place after, they bonded a lot over sharing William, but now it's like, is she going to tell him? Is he going to ever find out? Or if we can, I don't know. As usual, I don't know what's going on in X-Files.
Right, exactly. That's the theme of the show, is we have no idea what's going on.
Back to that thing, two guys talking about feminism. It's like, how many times we have a plot device where a woman gets raped or sexually violated by a man in power just for the plot device of it.
Yeah.
Like, here it is again. Oh, now we're going to reveal that she was assaulted by the cigarette smoking man and it's his baby.
Yep.
They weren't really clear if, like, he actually had sex with her or if it was a scientific implant. I don't care. Either way, she was violated by him. And I'm just tired of that being always the thing.
Yeah.
Like, how many times is that going to be the thing in TV shows?
Yeah, because we don't know exactly how he did it, but we know that she was abducted with whatever means
knocked
they
unconscious,
had. Knocked
she was
unconscious.
drugged.
Yeah, whether it was consensual or not.
Clearly not.
Clearly not, but I mean, was it... Because she was in a drug state, and then all of a sudden she was in his house, and she's like, how did he get here?
Yeah.
You know? So, it's like, surely I didn't do anything to you. And maybe, and obviously he probably didn't, because, you know, they have the technology to do whatever they want. So... it was just, it was strange. Speaking of that, what was the lady's name that was kind of like the assistant to the Smoking Man? She used to be an agent, right?
Reyes?
Oh, yeah, that's Reyes, right. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
From season 8 and 9?
Yeah, it was later. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah.
Let's do a Twitter check. Alright, so I'm going to take a look at Twitter and see what's going on with the hashtag X-Files. The cool thing I'm seeing here is that whenever you hashtag X-Files, you get a little X-Files logo after it inserted into it.
That's cool.
So Twitter's on board with X-Files, apparently. There's a lot dominated by the fact that it started airing in the UK yesterday.
Oh.
There's also a new X-Files game that comes out today, X-Files Deep State.
Of course.
So I'm trying to find something about the actual show where we are here in the US.
How many times can X-Files say Deep State in one season? We should count.
Has it been more than once in this episode? Twice?
Probably.
One season?
I would say it's been at least twice an episode.
I mean, the one was, I think it was making fun of Trump more than anything.
Oh, of course.
Did they say it in the first episode too?
I don't remember.
There are a lot of people tweeting about how everyone looks, saying, you know, they aged well, skin is like a fine wine. Kind of interesting to me.
It's kind of creepy, to be honest, but yeah.
Okay, here's a tweet from fellow podcaster. From the name, it's called @NotAnotherXFPod. And it says, someone on Tumblr pointed out that Scully's reflection on the table in the waiting room isn't moving. Is there a meaning to that, or was it just lazy editing?
Interesting.
Hashtag X-Files, hashtag XFGhoulie.
The truth is out there.
So in the Ghoulie episode, apparently her reflection didn't move on the table.
Huh.
Did you notice that at all?
I did not. It must be one of those things where you're just accidentally glancing at it while it happens.
Oh, somebody posted the gif of it happening. That's kind of creepy. It looks weird when you see it. This one, I'm guessing this is someone watching the first episode in the UK maybe, because it came out yesterday, because it sounds like they're just starting it. But it says, @RuthBlueIIS, how incredible was the return of X-Files? Enjoyed every second of it. Can't wait to watch next week's episode.
Which they're on the first episode of the season, so yeah, okay.
Here's one from a super fan, apparently, @Valerie Duchovny. Do you think she's really related to David Duchovny?
I don't think so.
I remember it as if it were yesterday. I always put sketch tape on the window in the shape of an X. I had the fixation, all the things X-Files. And then the photo posted with it says, if you remember this, your 90s were awesome. It has X tape onto a window. I never put tape X on my window. Here's one. @2Broke2Drive says, hopefully there's that one comedy episode in the series. Those are always the best and capture the essence of the X-Files.
Of course.
So I'm guessing this is another person that's just starting it in the UK.
Yeah.
Because they haven't seen The Lost Art of Forehead Sweat yet. But yeah, they're excited about the comedy episode. I think it was a good one too.
All right. It was, yeah, it's very good. That's part of the charm.
All right, here's one. We'll read one more real quick. @Zibbles says, sorry, but the cigarette smoking man is a dirty old man. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Zibble Zeb.
And those cigarettes are going to give him cancer.
Here's one from @Angry Regina Guy. A short-lived 90s crossover where David Duchovny joined Spice Girls as Spooky Spice. There's a picture of him photoshopped into the Spice Girls.
Spooky Spice. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He would be Spooky Spice.
Spooky Mulder, that was his nickname.
Yep. I was going to talk about kind of backing up to a more serious point with the whole, because you just read the Twitter thing. Do you think this show gives an outlet to the people that it seems like we're having more of a problem with conspiracy theories? Do you think it's, I mean, obviously the show does it just for fun. They do it to entertainment purposes. But do you think that it's a problem? Do you think that that's a good question. Do you think that it's an outlet for conspiracy theorists?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Not being one, it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard. It just seems like that's what they're trying. Not that they're trying to do. It's entertainment purposes, obviously.
Yeah.
But with the Twitter, you just read it. It just seems like, it's satisfying my lust for conspiracy theories, and I always thought of other things,
Mm-hmm. I read one the other day when I was looking up stuff. I'm not even gonna remember the person. I don't remember them. I don't care. But they had they made this like meme type picture that has Mulder says, "I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens."
But it's aliens, yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's funny. But then the text with it said something about it's always the aliens' fault. Build a wall, keep them out.
Right.
And I was like, wait, you're missing the point. Like you're using aliens as illegal aliens.
Right.
Like immigrants, and you're using X-Files to promote this like Trump agenda when
Right.
X-Files is explicitly anti-Trump in this season. And I think it's interesting about that also. And I get that they're different companies and it's different, but you have Fox News, which is like the Trump news network, and then you have Fox Network, which has a show that's explicitly anti-Trump. It's kind of a funny.
Which seems, it's very, very funny. Because I think about that a lot with other shows like Family Guy. Constantly makes fun of Fox, constantly makes fun of anybody really, but it's just like, can they say that on Fox? I mean, wouldn't they cancel them?
Well, there's 20th Century, and then there's News Corp. They're different companies.
Of course. It's just like, but you'd think they'd have their finger down on.
I mean, there's really no relationship at this point. There's a historical relationship, but they're two different companies now. So
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Then.
It's just funny when you think about this name. The name is the same, so it's similar. So you're like, wait.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my fear. I fear that I love the show. I love watching the show. I love imagining the show. But it's just like Star Trek. I love watching the show. I love thinking about the show. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make me want to go out and try an experimental transporter or something like that.
Like you don't want to be an FBI agent when you first watching it. Wow, that sounds like a good job.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool. But that's the whole point. You're imagining it. You're living vicariously through a character, basically. Sure. That's why I don't know. It seems like it's giving a lot of credence to the conspiracy theorists and giving them an excuse to say, well, see, that's why we're doing it. It's always that. It's always aliens. It could be aliens, or it could be, a huge government conspiracy. I see that a lot now. It's wake up sheep. Constant comments on YouTube are wake up sheep. On every political post. It's scary. I
guess I didn't make that connection with. I never thought about X-Files being an outlet for people who really are the Fox Mulders out there.
It's not that that's a horribly bad thing, but it just seems recently it's become very, because again, there's no medium between the news and fake news, and or if you want to call it fake news, and factual reporting. So I always feel like, is this an homage to the fact that we don't have factual reporting anymore, or they think we don't have factual reporting anymore, or I don't know. It just seems, it seems scary. How about William?
How about him?
Obviously huge part of the story, and huge part of the 2 seasons, and yet we've only seen him once. Mm-hmm. Predictions.
Okay.
Do you think that the story from the 10th seasons is happening, going to come true, and we'll see at the end of the 11th season?
I think best case scenario is that 10th season, especially the last episode of 10th season, does come true. They gloss over it in the new season and then get to the last part where the spaceship's overhead. Mm-hmm. And then we finally see what happens after that. And we get to see have some kind of resolution.
Right.
And not be another cliffhanger. Because like they keep saying, this could be the last one. And Gillian Anderson's pretty adamant that's going to be the last one. Mm-hmm. Chris Carter's pretty adamant that he doesn't want to do more without her. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to see some resolution and put it to bed. And it's not like they can't always have something else to bring it back if it happens someday.
Of course.
Writers can write their way out of anything in TV and movies. Anyone could die or anything can happen. They can always move on. They can always find a way. So that shouldn't really be the concern. Oh, we have to leave a window open. I like to see the window close, and I like to see some resolution to this because it's been so long. I want to see something happen.
Mm-hmm. I honestly thought when they brought in the new agents Miller and Einstein, mm-hmm. that was going to be, okay, we're going to continue it, and we're going to actually reboot the series after we've rebooted it, and they're going to be in their place.
Yeah, kind of like the Doggett and Reyes kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So would you watch a show like that? I don't think that's going to... I doubt that'll happen. But would you watch a show like that?
I might watch it, like the first season, but I don't know if I could get a hold of it. Again, they tried, I feel, to make the dynamic very Mulder and Scully.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, but
it's kind of a joke almost.
Right, and I think that's what it was meant to be. Not necessarily. Maybe it was trying to say, "Oh, we're going to reboot it," but obviously not because it's X-Files. But I don't think X-Files would be the same without Scully and Mulder. They've done it for, now you said 25 years, and it just seems like, why would you reboot it again? But I guess it's possible. Anything's possible.
And you saw season 9 where they tried that, and it was like not great.
Yeah, exactly. Not the greatest. And if anybody's confused, the final episode of the 10th season was basically one of our genes had been manipulated, and so we had all of our immune system shut down, and we all were dying except for the chosen few. So again, that
people that had alien DNA.
Right, alien DNA. The idea of eugenics and creating a better world, Moonraker effect, if you will, or any other James Bond villain.
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same, pretty much. Zora and all those. So I feel, if I could make a prediction, I do agree that it's going to, I feel like this is the last one. And I feel like, again, they're hinting at William has to save Mulder with his stem cells.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the whole thing was she was running around saving everyone with antidote to whatever they had changed with in IV bags. But then she gets to Mulder and she's like, oh, I can't save him with just the IV bag. He's going to need stem cells because he was somehow farther advanced in the sickness, or even though his started after everyone else's. Anyways, I was a little weird. I was like,
don't think about the timeline.
I was like, is this a plot device, or because they're hinting at they're going to kill? Because I remember this happened 2013, or no, it was 2016, and then it took 2 years to get to the next season. So and then they're like, are we even going to do another one? So
exactly,
it was trying to scare you. But so yeah, if I could make a prediction, I feel that he's going to save his father, and maybe someone's going to die. I feel like he has to save his father though.
Mulder has to live.
I think so.
You think William might die though?
William might die, or Scully. Because she does everything to save everyone else. Like she would sacrifice herself to save her, especially since she gave up her son, and she feels all that remorse. So I don't want to say she's going to die, but I feel like that might be the course they're taking. Maybe all of them will die. Who knows? Maybe the whole series will reset. It's entirely within the tone of X-Files to do something like that.
Right.
So I don't know, but maybe you're right. Maybe William will die, because again, if I might go on a tangent, his conception, miraculous conception, to an extent, quote unquote, birth after a pilgrimage to an ideal location. Is it the God, the Jesus effect? Is he the Messiah or so? And then he has to die for everyone.
Sure, because she wasn't a virgin conception, but she was thought to be barren.
Right.
So, there's some parallels there.
Birth witnessed by angels. The super soldiers were called that, right? By that nut job.
I think so.
I can't remember his name. The UFO guy.
You went deep into this.
Because it's. I mean, okay. There's another one. Gifts from wise men. The lone gunman.
Okay.
So
you're building the case that William is Jesus.
I'm not saying he is,
he's
but
going to sacrifice himself to save humanity.
I feel like they very heavily handed said that's what's going on, and what happens to Jesus in the end?
Right, he comes back to life.
Okay, but he dies first, right?
And he comes back.
Oh, it's a good ending.
And it sends to heaven.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I don't know. It hit me hard, I guess. I never would have thought of that, but I just kind of like that.
So did you come up with it yourself, or did you?
Yeah.
That?
That's that. I was watching it again.
Did you have the thumbtacks on the wall? Were drawing red lines to them all?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I can see you doing that.
Yeah, of course. I have a whole room set up for that.
Okay.
It made me think of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He does that.
Oh, that Pepe or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a great scene.
It was amazing.
It's a great gif. It's a great meme too. It's turned into a great meme.
Pepe Sylvia, was that like? Not only do all these people exist, they're waiting for their mail.
And that's what. You saw Mulder doing that with that scene where he was like, soy bomb, it was great.
I know.
It was a great meta scene of like Mulder making fun of himself, it was funny. I liked it. So despite the mythology being bloated, it is strange how consistent some of it is.
Okay.
So you've seen, even in this latest season, characters like Mr. Y, who have been in and out, member of the Syndicate,
Yep.
in and out of things for years and years, and he just pops up. I can't remember if they even said his name, Mr. Y, in this season or not, but
I don't think so.
I saw him and I was like, oh, that's Mr. Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, little things like that.
Yeah.
Or, Spender making a quick appearance with the scars on his face.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, it didn't explain it, but if you watch the show, you know.
Right.
And it's a lot of honoring the fans' commitment, I think, of being so deep into this for so long.
Oh, yeah.
And being like, oh, yeah, here's throw your bone here.
And you wouldn't even know it because, again, they didn't say his name. So you have to be a diehard fan to know who he is. And
Right. As far as predictions go, do you think that Smoky Man's going to die? Finally? Again? For real? For the 8th time?
the 8th time, yeah. That is a good question. Because, again, I could answer it yes and no. Well, he'll not die. So I think he will die. I think they've been hinting at this. I think he's trying to make his legacy, create a stable legacy, I guess, because he's trying to get William and figure it out. But my other fear of that is he trying to get William to do some sort of experiment on him so he'll live forever? Mm-hmm. I mean, he doesn't really care that it's his son. He says that, but who knows what he means by it, is he telling the truth? Obviously, he never does. So, I don't know. I feel like, anything's possible. I hate to make predictions because literally anything is possible in the X-Files universe.
Right. Did you do any of the augmented reality little filters on Facebook or Snapchat or anything for X-Files? Have you tried either of those?
I didn't know.
They're pretty funny. There's one where it makes your face into like an alien face. It's kind of creepy.
Okay.
And the other one, it makes a saucer UFO appear in your thing. And you can kind of attach it to an object, so it'll follow the object. It'll have an abduction beam, green beam over it, and then it'll kind of follow it around like the car or the dog.
Oh my gosh!
So I had to go and had some of my kids' toys. It was like abducting them. It was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool.
I'm looking at Twitter again here. The official X-Files Twitter account at the X-Files has a tweet here that says, "The tales of Ghoulie will live on. Add your own stories and sightings here. Ghoulie.net." So apparently you can go on and you can contribute to the fake Slenderman
Interesting.
Ghoulie story yourself.
It'll only be a matter of days before we see someone saying they saw Ghoulie.
And how fast is the internet going to just burn that to the ground anyway?
Oh, yeah.
Ruin everything on it. I've been looking into X-Files, reaction videos and commentaries for a while now, for the last week to get ready. And a lot of them are pretty negative downers. They're like, this is another Chris Carter failure.
Oh,
and it's going downhill again.
Of course. That's what I mean. You can't look at any comment on YouTube and then get down about it because it's just every comment.
I'm not even saying the comments. I'm saying the video, the vlogs.
Oh, the
and
vlogs.
The video podcast.
Gotcha.
The hosts are just like, there's a couple where they're excited about it and they're geeking out about it, and a lot of them are just, this isn't very good. There's one I really enjoyed that was at Carly here _ and she was just real like, but I just love these characters. This is great. I want to see more of this. And she was really into the characters and their relationship. And she's like, I just want to see Mulder and Scully get together. And she was really, really funny. I really enjoyed her lighter take on it compared to so many of these that are just like, the X-Files. And this is not a good season. It's gonna be the end, and really just downer stuff.
I feel like you can't be a proper fan, obviously, unless you question a lot of the show. But that being said, constant negativity will never work. It just will never work.
Right. The end of the day is, as long as there's money to be made, a franchise will be remade in some form until there's not money to be made anymore.
What do we even know?
You can say what you want about it.
Right. Do we even know the viewing on this newest season yet? Because that's the telltale sign. X-Files had great viewing in its past seasons, and that's the whole entire reason why it lasted so long. And believe me, while I was watching the 10th and 11th season, I was on Wiki on my second monitor a lot.
What do you mean?
There were things that I didn't remember, or I had to look up, different aspects of what they were trying to explain from previous episodes, just so I knew I was on. Because again, it's X-Files. Even though you've seen them, there are things you forget, and it's very difficult to go back and watch the episode you forgot if you don't know what's going on. So let's see here. Viewership, 12 million. That's just in the first season. So that's a pretty good start. And then what we're looking at now on the 11th season. I'll say, okay, 5 million, 3 million. The 11th season had 16 million, 9 million. So maybe the path you're taking is going to get somewhere, but it seems like people don't like it. So
yeah.
Of course, viewership means nothing in these days. People watching online, I don't think those numbers count. This is all TV stuff.
Yeah, so I wonder, I'm sure that they're able to pull data from both and figure out what's worth and what's not.
I'm sure, yeah.
You know, ad revenue and this and that. That's really how it goes.
But even the 9th season here was 10 million, 13 million, you know, so...
Yeah, TV is different back then.
Yeah, of course. It's just, maybe that's the reason. Maybe there are other reasons nobody likes it. Who knows?
Sure. You said something about having to look things up.
Mm-hmm.
Made me think. I honestly, I don't usually look things up. I go, I try to use my memory or whatever, and try to just go with what they tell me. Because so often things don't always line up 100% with a show that's like this, where the arc, the mythology is kind of just bloated and been going on so long.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost better just to kind of rely on your memory.
It is.
You know, I thought it's kind of funny when they talked about the Mandela effect like that. It's like you almost have to kind of take your own Mandela effect from X-Files into account. Because I remember this happening. Whether it happened or not, it doesn't matter because they're gonna act like it did.
Right. And the next episode will be completely different. It's a switcheroo, 100%.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and I usually I'm with you 100%. I don't look things up unless it's, you know, very important to me. But with this episode or with this show, I feel like if I don't, I will be completely lost, and I hate being lost in anything.
Right.
They do that on purpose, but I hate that. So I have to know. You know.
All right.
I
think that wraps it up. Thanks for listening. That's been another episode of Revival Survival. I'm Nathan Grayjack.
And I'm Eric Sajak.
Again, you can follow me at Grayjack on Twitter, GRAJEK, and follow the podcast at Revival_podcast.
And I don't go on Twitter.
That's okay.
Okay.
Please tweet at us. Please comment on the YouTube video. Let us know what franchises you want us to cover next time. You know, we had some ideas, but we're really open to doing new ones, doing different ones. So let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Is that how they say it? Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow, all the other... Snapchat.
Yeah, that's right. The ghost one.
I don't have a Snapchat.
Okay. We can make a Tumblr if you want. I don't, you know. Okay, no.
Find us on LiveJournal.
Okay.
MySpace.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm on MySpace. So.
Zanga? Was that what it was called?
Zanga. Oh my god.
I remember Zanga was blocked in our high school.
Yeah.
It was the first one that it was the first social media thing that was blocked. It was kind of started that when we were in, I think, middle school.
They lost the war, I think.
Yeah. I remember us finding ways to get around the Zanga block in middle school and like typing in different things, going through the like Canadian server or something. Because there were some kids that were like posting like bullying things on there, so they had to block it, but we wanted to see it.
I hate when I look up. This has nothing to do with the show. But I hate when I look up on Amazon like a show I really want to watch. I saw it somewhere and I'm like, oh man, that looks so good. You pull it up and it's .co.uk and it's not available in the US. And it won't let you sign in and watch it on Amazon. I'm so mad.
Yeah, regional restrictions really suck.
Oh, they're stupid.
I mean, I can't believe the UK is just now getting X-Files.
Yeah.
It sucks for them.
It's pretty bad.
Because in today's world, you're going to see spoilers and whatever else on all on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, there's no UK Twitter. So you have to like try to wade through that if you're not getting it where you want to.
Right.
And then, you know, with Star Trek Discovery, you can watch it on Netflix outside the US and Canada.
Right.
So you always have to buy NBC All Access. It's frustrating.
That's what we forgot to talk about last time. That's why I'm canceling CBS All Access as soon as it's over. Because I am protesting the fact that you can't watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and still Netflix has the rights to it, but not in this country.
Right.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I find that come up too. You know, the Olympics is starting up here pretty soon. I've had to struggle a lot with trying to not being a TV person. You know, not having cable.
Yeah.
Trying to watch the Olympics, and you know, when it was in London, for example, BBC had it for free, so I was trying to find ways to watch it through like Canadian portals. So they had BBC and we did it. I hate region restrictions.
Because you think that if anything would be free, it would be the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like to watch.
Right.
I mean,
NBC has such a lock on it in the US.
Yeah. Is this the airing of grievances? Could that be a section of our podcast?
Isn't that half the podcast?
Yeah. That's true.
Any references? We can add in a specific spot next time if you want as a revival. So
Oh my god. I would go insane.
If Seinfeld had a revival, that would be our best episode.
That'd be one of the shows that I don't care if it's the main or all the same characters. I mean, I would love to see that, but at the same time, I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, and to me, that is the revival of Seinfeld.
Interesting.
It's very, very similar and hilarious in the same regard. I mean, obviously, it's the guy that made Seinfeld. So.
Yeah. There, David. Yeah.
It's just, and especially when he did, they wanted to do a reunion show of Seinfeld.
Right, I remember.
And he did a reunion of Seinfeld in his show.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Okay. Well, again, thanks everyone. Have a great week.
All right. See you next time on Revival Survival.